Hey there, Stampin' friends. Welcome to Movie Monday with Jody Breckbill, Stampin' Queen. Here is today's card I'm going to share with you. This adorable little rhinoceros card we made in one of my classes. And I just wanted to share a little bit because we really focus on a certain suite that is in the new catalog, as well as using our Stampin' Blends, which I am so in love with. And they are back in stock. Yes. So all of the original colors that came out are in stock right now, but the new colors that are revealed in the new catalog are still not available. They're hoping the middle of June. So perhaps when this movie airs, they may be available. I'm not sure. So you can always check with me and I can let you know a date on that. So let me show you how we created that. But first I want to share, this is the stamp set that we used. This is Animal Outing with all these cute little guys in there. And this was a freebie that they gave us at one of our Stampin' Up meetings. It does come with a set of dies, which is wonderful. So the girls in my class, when we did this card, we had to hand cut this one because I didn't have the dies yet, but the dies have arrived, so no more fussy cutting. And this one's really cool because it kind of makes like a giraffe pattern, and it's really a fun set of dies. Then we also have some really cool little vine ribbon that goes with that suite, which is fun to use. Excuse me. And as well as we've got a pack of coordinating designer series paper. So one of the great things about this particular pack of paper is that your dies actually work to cut out the kangaroo and the rhinoceros. Wait, the rhinoceros, he has to go the right way. So this kangaroo right here. So you can actually die cut that piece out with, it is the exact size. Oh, giraffe head too. He works. Yep, no, he has to go the right way. That's the trick. So there's the giraffe head right there. So that's pretty fun. But there's the patterns that we have in this particular, we're missing one. Yeah. This one and all these little guys. And then we've got the big ones. The big ones, that's the one that the dies work with. So there's our pack of designer paper. There's all the little frogmen on there. Little birds. So this would make some fun children's cards. There's a cute little hippo swimming in the water. I enjoy it. I mean, I just think it's a fun one, and children of all ages would enjoy getting a card made with this stamp set. But it is a great one if you have some little people in your life to do some fun cards with them. So first thing we're going to do is some stamping. And because I'm using my blends, I need to use my Memento ink, and I cut out a piece of Whisper White using our stitched shape framelits, and I'm going to stamp my rhinoceros on there. Now I just re-inked this pad, so I'm hoping it's not going to be a big giant mess because I re-inked it a little heavier than what I had planned. So there's our rhinoceros, and I'm going to color him with our blends. So what I did was start with the light Smoky Slate, and I did the brush tip. Now one of the things you can have to remember when you are working with the blends is that you don't need to be heavy-handed with the tip. It is a real fine point that we have on here, and if you just want to actually, almost like you're painting, just kind of go over that. You don't have to be too hard on it because you'll damage that tip, and the tip is what you need to get into the nice fine little cracks and crevices that might be on your stamp set. And so if you just kind of, it's almost like you're going to do a wash across him in the light gray, and you can see how easily that goes on and blends. And it always is hard when I'm trying to see this through the viewer of my camera, so if I get outside the lines, please forgive me. It's also very early in the morning, and I do not have my glasses on. So just a nice wash right across there, and you just watch how it goes on so nice and easy and no lines. That's the great part. So trick to the blends, you want to hear that snap when you put that back on. So I'm going to go with my thinner end here just to do his tail. So you always want to hear that click. That's what you're looking for with the blends. Because of being alcohol markers, they can dry out very, very quickly. And we don't want that. So I'm going to go in here now, and I'm just all these areas that have shading, I'm going to do our dark Smoky Slate. Kind of outlines his little toes there. All right, now you could leave it just like that if you're happy with it, or I'm going to go back in and I'm going to actually blend a little bit more. So I'm going to use the end that's not the brush tip, and in circles, sorry, I'm going to rock the camera a little bit. I'm going to go back in and I'm just going to kind of go over those areas that I just did with the dark and kind of make it blend. Now, sometimes you might think that you're seeing the lines and you're not real happy with that. And you can always just wait until it dries a little bit and see what happens. So what you're actually doing is the alcohol is re-wetting the ink that you just put down and kind of making it blend together. And you can go back in and do this multiple times just to get the right shading that you want. And you'll notice sometimes I like to just walk away and come back a little bit later. I'm going to like shade just around his horn there so that it kind of stands out a little bit more. But it's amazing what happens once these dry. They kind of change a little bit. So now I'm going to do the little bird here. Put a little yellow for his beak. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of grass underneath of him as well. And that's with Old Olive. So I used, this is Lovely Lipstick, Daffodil Delight, Old Olive, and the Smoky Slate is the grays that I used. Then I did also stamp the little frog guy. So here he is. I stamped him and I already colored him and cut him out with the dies. And I'm looking at my table and guess what I forgot? No adhesive, no dimensionals. All right, so I'm just gonna put him on a piece of Lovely Lipstick cardstock. And then I have a piece of Smoky Slate. That's my card base. We're gonna fold that one in half. And I took a little strip, like a 1-inch strip here of Lovely Lilac, and I'm just gonna, or not Lovely Lilac, Lovely Lipstick. I'm showing my Stampin' age right now. Piece of Whisper White here. Attach that. And he's, oh, these are little tiny dimensionals. Well, that'll work too. That just seemed to be what I had on my paper. That's all right. I'll use what I got. Since they're tiny, we'll put one in the middle. He's gonna go on here in the center like that. And then I took some Smoky Slate and our sentiment, and I'm gonna stamp that in the gray. Thank you big time. And then these little guys, I just did a little bit of adhesive there right where those little little leaves are, just a little smidge, and that's gonna go on. Well, maybe I want to up a little higher. I don't want to cover up his ear. There we go. So there's our little rhinoceros. done with our Stampin' Blends. Thanks so much for joining me, you guys. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you next week for Movie Monday.